Hello, hope your Ash Wednesday is going well. We've been without power since very early on Monday morning, late Sunday night, but we've mercifully been taken in by some of our wonderful neighbors who do have power, so we've been in the heat, which is really a blessing. But I'm sad not to be with you this Ash Wednesday. I was looking forward to our service at 6 at Central. I was looking forward to being with folks in person in our drive-through. So this feels strange, but it's a year of strange things. And I just wanted to share with you some reflections on this fast day. So in today's letter to the Hebrews, reading from the daily office, we hear about God disciplining those whom he loves. And we're told that God disciplines all those who are meant to be his children, in the same way that parents discipline their children. Sometimes this can sound like harsh discipline, like God is sending us heart attacks and cancers, or God is sending us winter storms and car wrecks and massive power outages, as though those somehow make us better people or stronger. Those things certainly can make us better and stronger people, depending on how we turn to God in the midst of them, but God does not actually do those to us. Those are our bodies falling apart, those are cars crashing into each other, those are problems with infrastructure or the power grid or just a whole lot of ice. That's not God's doing. Instead, what Hebrews is talking about, this discipline, are things like fasting. So why do we fast in the season of Lent, and why do we especially fast on Ash Wednesday, and what is this fasting? So for some people, that means not eating at all. It means just drinking water. For other people, particularly those in the early church and lots of Christians today, that means not eating any animal products. It means avoiding all meat and all dairy. For others still, it means eating light and simple and healthy and perhaps a bit boring food for Ash Wednesday and for the duration of Lent. But why? Well, this is not just to break us from a sin like gluttony, like making food an idol which we worship rather than God. Instead, it's about taking the most intense passion that we have, the passion for food. So this passion that tells us you have to eat now, you are hungry, you have to eat now, or you will die, you will act crazy, you will feel terrible, your tummy is rumbling and you have to respond right now. It's taking that passion and saying, no, I don't have to respond right now. Or no, I don't have to respond with things I particularly like, with comfort food, with delicacies, with little treats. It's telling that passion no. And this is not because we need to lose weight or we need to go on a diet or something like that. This is actually because when we are telling the most immediate passion we have no, then we are strengthened to tell the other passions we have no. So our passions try to enslave us and they try to control us. We have passions like anger and greed and jealousy and quarrelsomeness. We have passions like the passion for revenge, covetousness, and in the same way that hunger takes us over and says, you have to respond right now, that's what the other passions do. So anger takes us over and says, you are feeling angry, you have to respond, you have to act on this anger. You have to make a snide comment. You have to be passive-aggressive. You have to pick a fight. Or covetousness overwhelms us. You can't stop thinking about this new car. You have to get the new car. You have to give up anything to have the new car. There are all these passions that just wash over us like waves and try and make us into their slaves. But when we learn how to tell hunger no, when we learn how to show our passion for food who's boss, suddenly these other passions are less able to push us around, such that anger can wash over us like a wave and we feel the anger rising within us. And then we are able to say to the anger, not today. I may feel angry right now, but I'm not going to respond in anger. I'm going to respond in forgiveness. I'm going to respond in love. Jealousy may overwhelm me. How dare they get what they want? Why do they have power and I don't have any power? I have a baby. My baby's freezing. It's so cold outside. And these people, they're just running all the lights, running the washer, running blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to tell that jealousy, not today. No, I'm going to rejoice in the fact that my neighbor has power, even if I don't, especially a great neighbor like I have who's willing to share their power. But even a mean neighbor, even one I don't like. When we learn how to control the passions, we're able to move more towards Christ. Christ's goal for us is just one thing. The whole of Christianity is just one thing. It's loving God with your heart and mind and soul and strength, and loving your neighbor as yourself. And it's controlling the passions, reigning in jealousy, reigning in anger, reigning in greed, reigning in pride, reigning in all these things that try and control us, that makes us look more and more like Christ. So this Lent, and especially today, Ash Wednesday, I would encourage you all to fast. Again, fasting does not mean just not eating anything, certainly not for 40 days, but even for Ash Wednesday itself. But it might mean that you restrict what you eat to what's boring, what's not that pleasurable, what's necessary and nutritious. It might mean that you cut all meat and dairy and wine, alcohol, out of your diet for 40 days. It might mean you fast in some other way, giving up something that you feel particularly attached to, like coffee or sweets or whatever it is. But in some way you begin to tell the passions, no, you can't control me. You're not the boss. Because the boss of me is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He is the only one who I worship, and he is the only one whose dictates I aim to follow. Thank you for joining me for a few thoughts on Ash Wednesday. God bless you.